Welcome to lesson 3. In this exercise and lesson, we're going to learn about moving up the vibrational ladder. Because a lot of times we still have triggers and wounds that have been unhealed. A lot of times until those things are recognized and healed, it's very challenging for most of us to just make massive leaps in our consciousness or our awareness about something overnight. Okay, so for example, it's somebody who is really unhappy. For example, I hate my life. Okay, is not going to shift to I love my life like that. Even doing an exercise like this, it is going to take some time. It is going to take some reprogramming. It is going to take some shift in consciousness. And that doesn't happen instantaneously for most of us. Okay, so what we want to do is, as we experience the contrast, is identify where we are on the vibrational ladder and say, okay, I've got to reach for something a little bit better, because how I feel means everything in this universe. How I feel is my universal currency. We learned that in lesson number 1. My universal currency is how I feel. So how I'm feeling on this vibrational ladder is going to determine what the universe is sending back to me. So I can say I love my life, but if I'm really not vibrating that, then I'm still going to be receiving like vibrations from the universe to I hate my life. Okay? So if our job is to really know, and again, contrast is valuable. So we are not supposed to feel perfect 100% of the time. We're supposed to experience contrast. The change in awareness, though, is now we're understanding that this contrast is happening for us, and it's asking us to feel the thing through and reach for that better feeling thought. Okay, so when we're experiencing something that is a challenge, sometimes there are certain topics that we have too much momentum behind. And so in the process of reprogramming, it's really going to be easier for us, instead of reaching for a softer feeling thought, to just avoid that topic altogether. Okay. So for example, let's say that you have a fear of dogs and you believe that dogs bite because you had that experience. Okay, so in a reaching, I'm afraid of dogs, dogs are bad. Okay, in a reaching of a better thought, you could say, I had a bad experience one time with a dog, but maybe I could have a better experience now. I like knowing that if I change my vibration towards dogs, that I might have a better experience. So you didn't go from I hate dogs, I'm scared of dogs, to I love dogs, but you went to the possibility that maybe it could be better, right? So you're moving up that ladder. Does that make sense? So as we're experiencing, I hate my job, maybe say, you know what? I'm grateful I have a paycheck. Or you could say, Thursdays when we get to do XYZ, I really enjoy that about my job. Because as long as you're in the vibration of, I hate my job, what does the universe have to keep bringing you? More reasons to hate your job. Okay? You see, in everything that we desire, there's 2 ends of it. There's the having of the desire and the not having. And so often, as we are not understanding the vibrational ladder, understanding that how we feel is our currency, we often tend to stick with the side of the things that we don't like. I don't like this job. I don't like dogs. I don't like this house. I don't like these things. And so really, it's about finding a softer feeling thought, or not talking about that thing altogether. Okay, so if you had maybe a very, very traumatic experience with a family member, and just talking about that, thinking about that, there's so much momentum behind it that there is no thought that's going to be appealing to you. Then when those thoughts come up, just start thinking about puppies. just start thinking about babies. Just start thinking about little piglets running around and being so cute and squeaking and all of those things. Okay, just remove that particular topic for the time being. And those are your two options when you're working on moving up the vibrational ladder. You either reach for a softer feeling thought, or you stop the momentum, because that's the purpose of the vibrational ladder, is to understand there's contrast here, okay? And the universe acts so fast. I mean, you literally have less than 30 seconds before the momentum is built and the universe starts to respond, okay? So as we're finding the contrast, we're experiencing the emotion, we become either grateful for the experience and we move the vibration to a softer place, or we stay in that vibration and start bringing more reasons why we should be unhappy about those particular things that we're thinking about. Or we say, you know what, there's too much momentum behind this particular topic. I cannot find a softer feeling thought, so we're just going to move to puppies. Yay for puppies. Okay, so in exercise 3, this is going to be a short video. So in exercise 3, what we want to do is go back to how we found our circumstances, how we rated those circumstances in exercise 1. Look at where we can identify a softer feeling thought. Okay, so anything that you wrote about your job, your house, your family, your kids, any of those things, any of the experiences or the circumstances in your life right now that you rated yourself a 3 or less, write down what regarding that situation makes it uncomfortable. What is it that you're unhappy about? Okay, and then try to find a way that that contrast is benefiting you. I mean, just an example that comes to mind, you know, if we're always trying to find the feeling that's back in alignment with who we really are. And so if we find a way to be accepting of the parts, the things, the experiences that we're not particularly fond of, we have to find a way to be accepting of those things so that we stop the momentum, which is bringing us the results we don't want. Okay, so we've got to find the love, which means neutrality at the very least. Finding that vibrational ladder of neutrality. Okay, which again, in some instances, is just not thinking about that topic at all. And if you can manage your vibration, see, the universe responds with the vibration of how you feel, not necessarily about one topic or another, just in general. So if you want to change all aspects of your life, you've got to start feeling good about something. Even if over here, you still feel not so good about these things, as long as you're focusing on the things you do feel good about, universe will respond to it. That's what's so amazing about it. It doesn't even have to be about that particular circumstance. All these other things start to shift, and so will everything else, okay? So find the softer thinking, the softer feeling thought that you can find about it. So for example, what was the experience? Okay, yes, OCD. So it's perceived negative, and we want to find a way to accept these parts of ourselves that are perceived negative. So let's say someone is OCD, and you know everybody gives you a hard time about being OCD. So instead of saying, "Oh yeah, I'm so OCD, it's so awful, it's so bad," you say, "You know what? Yes, I right now find myself to be a little OCD, and as a result, my house is always clean. So my environment is always in order, and that makes me feel good." And so finding a way to be accepting and approving of the parts of your life and the parts of yourself that you're perceiving to be negative. Find a softer feeling thought. And so write down something, anything that was a 3 or less. Find a softer way to feel about it, even if you start with just knowing, I like knowing that I have the choice to feel better about this particular topic. You can just start there. Okay, so for anything, if you need help with this exercise, reach out on Facebook, let us know. We'll be happy to help you out with it. And again, if you find something that you just say, you know what, there's absolutely nothing good that I'm going to find about that particular circumstance, remove it, just avoid it, ignore it. When you find yourself thinking about it, go to puppies. Go to what it would be like to win the lottery. Go to anything else. Just complete shift of focus so that you stop the momentum. I'll see you in the next lesson.